Ah, the Galar region, home to many grass-type Pokemon, and in today's video, I will be wielding their roots. That sounds so weird. It's a grass-type only Pokemon Nuzlocke challenge of Pokemon Shield. I love grass-type Pokemon so much. They grow, and Leech Seed. God, I love Leech Seed. Leech Seed's awesome. Hello, I'm Pro Billy, aka Jake, aka Billy, and I'll be your guide through this Nuzlocke challenge. I received my first little sapling, being a Grookey named Melon. Now, this is a Pokemon game, so immediately we're forced to fight our rival. Him having 2 Pokemon against my 1 must have been a torch to the ego. 10 minutes later, I enjoyed a little stroll along the Galar countryside, and then I'm interrupted to fight my rival once again. Hop added a Rookie D to his roster, now making it a team of 3. Grookey taps into his ancestors' roots by ripping off Wooloo and Sobble's face once again, and then plucking all of Rookie D's feathers. After being abandoned by Mother at the train station, I now arrive at the wild area. I skipped it for now because Grookey's like 3 levels under the lowest wild Pokemon around here, and I'm not trying to lose early. In Motorstoke, I have a run-in with Team Yell. This guy looks like he drinks a gallon of plain milk every day. While exploring the city, I forgot that the 3rd battle with Hop is initiated up here, and yeah, we're forced to fight him with only Grookey. Grookey proceeds to make light work of his whole team. You know, Hop needs to understand that just because his brother's champion, that shit doesn't mean anything. He needs to give up. It's not in the gene pool. Give up, Hop. Give up. Grookey's getting lonely, so it's time we go to Home Depot and pick up some new seedlings. First up is Squasha the Snover. Having a part ice type is crucial to be able to deal with flying types and other grass types. Next is fruit number 573. It's a bound sweet. I don't know what to do with it. Back to a useful encounter, we get Avocado the Lombre. Lombre is an exclusive to Pokemon Shield, and it's the only part water type that's also grass, so I have to use it if I want a chance to counter fire types. It was either Lombre or Nuzleaf. A Gossifer named Flower Man is obtained next and immediately dies from the battle against Beatty. Now, was that my fault? Yes, but in my defense, Glossifer is the rotten tomato of grass-type Pokemon. It's horrible. Glossifer has an ability that lowers the opponent's speed once it's been attacked. Unfortunately, Beatty's Gothita has the ability Competitive, which once it has a stat lowered, it increases its special attack by 2 stages. Afraid of switching another Pokemon in, I sack Flower Man to have another member clean up Gothita without too many casualties. The first death of the run is replaced with a Punkaboo named Pieboo because Pumpkin, Pie, and Boo. These nicknames, they're too much. Just hide me from the government. Oh, and Melon evolved into a Thwackey. Listen, I hate Thwackey. It reminds me of one of those little rubber stretchy toys you would win from an arcade. I hate his design. He is simply Grookey the long way. One more thing to do before my first gym badge is return back to the wild area and pick up the leftovers item. So the first gym is Milo, and he is a grass-type user. I am a grass-type master who has superior crops, and Milo doesn't even abuse Leech Seed. Snover is able to resist grass attacks from his Glossifer and even Dynamax Eldegoss. A flurry of super effective ice moves sweeps up the win. If that was the grass-type gym leader of Galar, then I guess that already makes me the strongest grass-type trainer. Alright, that was easier than I thought. My girlfriend helped me name my next 2 plants, being Applina the Applin, and then I backtracked to Route 4 for an Eevee. This Eevee is gonna evolve into a Leafeon, so my girlfriend came up with the nickname Leah Khalifa. She's a genius. Rival fight number 4. There are too many damn rival battles this early against Hop for him to just be so shit. Like, Nessa is the water and second gym leader. Leafeon has strong enough Razor Leafs to cut up the Goldeen and Arrokuda. Now Nessa's Dreadnought can Dynamax and is her ace. He does have a high attack stat, but with Leafeon's high defense, we can withstand the turtle and use the power of foliage twice to KO. Thanks for the second gym badge. Yo, Nessa looked kind of familiar from those Rule 34 posts. In the Galar Mine sequel, we're challenged by Beatty once again. This battle is a cakewalk compared to last time. The deal is, Beatty likes being abused. The little femboy within yearns for it. His whole character arc is being a bad boy, but really he's in the closet and reveals to become a fairy type master. I like fairy type Pokemon, but no straight man becomes a master of them. Real men are grass type specialists, also known as cannabis farmers. I returned to the wild area to catch a Roselia named Rosalie Nacho and an Oddish named Roblox Obby. Then we had to battle this goth chick Marnie before facing the third gym leader being Kabu. I am sweating, and it's not just because Kabu uses fire type Pokemon. He has 3 Pokemon that all have high base stat totals for this point in the game. Lombre is my only Pokemon that's capable of dealing super effective damage, and I can't get Ludicolo yet because of course the devs placed the Water Stone used to evolve him right after this gym. I also have 0 resistances to fire, and his ace being a Centiskorch and it's bug and fire type, that's 4 times resistant to grass moves. This is how I won. Roselia leads into Ninetales. Will-O-Wisp misses, and 1 layer of Toxic Spike is scattered. An Ember is less than half health, so another layer of Toxic Spikes is spread out for another win condition. Roselia goes for the Leech Seed after surviving another Ember. I decide to save Roselia for now in case we need to sack something later and have Lombre come in. Lombre is so I can efficiently take down the Fox and replenish health from Leech Seed to fight the other 2. I get burned, so now I just Bubble Beam until the Fox falls. Arcanine is released and I survive a Flame Wheel, then pop a Bubble Beam on him. Lombre is quite low on health and I want to save switch, so I sack Steenie. Wow, he was useful for something. Pumpkaboo is my next Pokemon, and Shadow Sneak is not nearly enough to kill, but weirdly he burns me. I can secure his soul next turn. Kabu's Ace Centiskorch is out and Gigantamaxes. I need to stall 3 turns. Turn 2, Leafeon's high defense can hold on from a max Flutterby. Turn 3, Pumpkaboo gets bug bombed and only survives because of a held Oranberry. If not, he would have burned to death. Thwackey can take a Flame Wheel and finish off the now normal Centiskorch, winning us our 3rd gym badge. Could have been a lot worse. If I was gonna lose a member, it would have been that fight. Maybe if Kabu was like the first gym leader, I might have some more wiggle room as the power level isn't that crazy, but having 3 high base stat Pokemon in the 30s is This was a tough battle. The Galar region finally gives back, as now I can get a Water Stone to evolve Lombre into Ludicolo. More of my plants grow into their final forms. We caught a Maractus named Flesh on Route 6, and Ruin Hop's Day once again. In Stone on side, we need to earn our 4th gym badge. In Pokemon Sword, this battle is against B, the fighting type gym leader, but we're playing Pokemon Shield, so we have to fight Alistar, the ghost type user. Looking at both gym leader teams, my grass types would have matched better into B's fighting types, but I valued having a Lombre over everything else. Let's see if it was worth it. Alistar and I begin our battle with leading Galarian Yamask and Applina. Applina has superior bulk with Leech Seed stall and held leftovers, so of course the ghost relives its hell by experiencing death again. His second Pokemon is Mimikyu. He uses Hone Claws while Leech Seed is deployed. I know he doesn't have Play Rough, so I'm comfortable with letting Applina break his disguise with Payback. Alistar has a brain malfunction as he keeps lowering my attack with those PNG eyes. Leech Seed is able to still lower him, and I take this opportunity to swap in Flesh. I plan on sacking Flesh on this fight anyway, so I'm not upset when Mimikyu attacks the one turn I switch in. Spiky Shield is in case he does slash, but he lowers my attack again, and Leech Seed sucks him dry. His third Pokemon is Cursula, and this thing has a gross special attack stat. I'm careful and crossing my fingers by locking him in with Attract. He does get a Cursed casted next turn, and I'm worried about Flesh not being able to stall very long, which is why I pivot to Melon to tank a Hex, then knock off for the knockout next turn. Yeah, the Grim Reaper arrived. I offered Gloom as a sacrifice, and thankfully Gigantamax Gengar threw the battle by using Max Ooze only once, so we stalled all 3 max turns. Applina has enough special defense to survive a +1 Venoshock from Gengar and narrowly Oko the Spirit with Payback. I do not have any resistances to poison moves on my team. I'm forced to sacrifice Flesh for Leah Khalifa to come in safely with a Bite attack. We won the 4th gym badge, but I did not like losing 2 members. A Maractus was never going to be a threat, but I still feel awful. Gloom dying kinda sucks because now I'm out of a grass and poison type for pivoting. Well, we will find a way to press on as we keep moving. The only thing in between us and the next gym is the Glimwood Tangle, where we caught ourselves a Phantump and a Shinotic. I don't actually know how you say it. In Balonia, I don't really know if that's how you say it. We're gonna call it Baloney. In Baloney, we received an Eviolite. The Eviolite will boost the defenses of any Pokemon that still needs to evolve, but at this late point in the game, I don't really have many options that can benefit from it. Opal specializes in fairy types, and just take a second to look at her team. Yeah, I soloed this fight with only Applina. Please note that Applina is part dragon, which means fairy types should be super effective. They are, but this battle is unique as Opal will ask you questions throughout the fight, and if she likes your answers, your stats just magically raise. Yes, my apple pie dragon can Leech Seed stall 3 fairies and a cake to death. Yay, 5 gym badges. That felt completely deserved. Rival fight number 6 is, well, another rival fight. The upcoming gym leader uses Ice type, so I decided to stop being lazy and actually understand the encounter chart for the wild area to pick up myself a Pharaoh Seed. Like I said, I could have gotten him way sooner, but I did not understand the encounters, how it works. Gen 8 doesn't really have a lot of sections to have different diverse Pokemon except for the wild area, so they're just like, this section has a different weather, 10 new things can spawn. Oh, the weather changed? Okay, let's just slap another 20 things here that can spawn. It's messy. Needed the Pharaoh Seed, being part Steel type, adds an immunity to poison moves. He can also take neutral damage from Ice types. Melanie uses Ice type Pokemon, and if this was Pokemon Shield, we'd be going against Goalie and his Rock types. I am regretting my decision. Avocado, you better call upon a Great Flood. Melanie and her dreaded Ice types are led by Frostmoth, and my Toadette meets it. The 2 exchange attacks with Toadette landing a crit and getting a kill, I didn't expect that. I'm able to have the momentum shift in my favor by now having Toadette sack against Darmanitan and safely switching in Needed. Darmanitan does have a 4 times effective Fire Fang and a high attack stat, but Needed has better bulk and seeks revenge for a KO. Huge momentum in my favor. I actually don't know how to pronounce this name. I think it's IssaQ. I'm too lazy to look it up. IssaQ is next, and Squasha deploys Aurora Veil to up both defenses. The 2 spam attacks until the Penguin has Happy Feet no longer. Her ace is a Gigantamax Lapras, but I am way more prepared for a run killer like this. You know, a couple gyms ago, I'd be crying, freaking out, but now we're good. To waste her G-Max turn, Squasha has another Aurora Veil, and Avocado takes neutral damage from 2 Ice type moves because of the part Water type. This gives Avocado enough to take advantage with Giga Drain, and we won our 6th gym badge. I forgot to record me punching Hop for the 7th time, and that goth girl Marnie, she got bented into a pretzel consensually. Piers has Dark-type Pokemon, and yes, my Apple Pie Dragon did solo this gym. I didn't have to worry about Piers using G-Max because he refuses, and buddy, you probably could have used it. Who cares if you leveled this city? Y'all are Dark-type trainers. Don't act like y'all just stand on a moral high ground. Like, come on. Just cause a little property damage. I wouldn't put it past y'all. Look how y'all are dressed. I backtracked to Route 9 for a Delmise. I caught it, but the damage from hail and it trapping me with Whirlpool caused the death of Trevenant. A soul for a soul. After looking at Matey the Delmise's moveset, I regret my loss further. Either way, I need to get my last gym badge back at Hammerlock. The final gym leader of Galar is the Dragon-type user Ryan. He doesn't just use Dragon types, however. He also has Pokemon capable of manipulating the weather. He is the 5G Tower. This is a double battle, meaning his Flygon and Gigalith are met by my Avocado and Paibu. Gigalith has Sandstorm brewing instantly. Flygon's Breaking Swipe lowers both my Pokemon's attack, and then both my grass types double up on Gigalith, but they're not strong enough to stop him in the same turn from setting up a Stealth Rock. Hoping Paibu can Shadow Sneak a kill, but he's just too weak. She suffers a crunch, but then Ice Wind removes the Gigalith finally. Sandaconda takes his place, and Shadow Sneak does secure Flygon's soul this time, while Avocado performs a Rain Dance ritual. Sandaconda paralyzes Paibu. Duraludon is here and Gigantamaxes. Avocado Icy Winds to hit both targets, and sadly I activated Sand Spit from Sandaconda, which brings the Sandstorm back in. I did not know that's how his ability worked. I should have read up on it. To make matters worse, a Max Knuckle lands and raises both the opponent's attack after. My Will-O-Wisp is dodged and Avocado is paralyzed. Lethal amounts of alcohol sound pretty good right now. Melon Drum beats Sandaconda to a snake pulp, but Squasha gets squashed by the Max Rockfall, causing a casualty. Melon and Needed are able to close out the fight and win our 8th gym badge. The loss of Squasha hurts. She had a really unique role on my team of plants, but I'm confident we can still do this without her. Route 10 is basically the Victory Road of this game. Now, Victory Road is a staple for the Pokemon franchise, but it's kind of nice just having a bunch of trainers on an ice path, something different. There's no puzzles, dungeons, or dragons, but there are trainers for me to sweep through. The path to Winden looks as low res as ever, and then I push towards Winden Stadium. There I have to battle the Goth Girl again. Rillaboom gets things started by brick-breaking her Liepard in halves. Ferrothorn can Iron Head the Toxicroak. Rillaboom returns to Drumbeat, Scrafty, and Moipuku. That's Pico, or yeah. Ferroseed and Appleton can take enough G-snoozes before Ludicolo decides not to pay the troll's toll. You're cool if you get that reference. Hop wants to get his ass kicked one more time, so I grant his wish by stalling his double until it takes itself out on my Ferrothorn. I switch back into Gourgeist because I predicted Hammer Arm. Snorlax falls the same way as Double. Corviknight cannot deal enough damage to my Ferrothorn, with it eventually fainting from revenge. Ferrothorn also Power Whips Pinchurchin's ass. His Ace Inteleon can Dynamax, and we survive a Max Hailstorm to then Oko the Big Lizard with Power Whip. Just hop your way out of the stadium. Why are you here? You don't have to be champion like your brother. Battling isn't for everyone. Go work in the Galar mine or something. You know, real life coal mining jobs have historically been dangerous. Do you think in the Pokemon world it's even more dangerous with the wildlife? Sorry, health insurance, it's not gonna cover the Drillbur just drilling through your chest or the Diglett bulldozing your kneecaps. Those poor coal miners. Okay, I'm done. Oh no, the assistant to Chairman Rose is evil. Her team is actually not horrible against us. All of her Pokemon have a super effective move against grass types except for her Milotic that's weak against us. 2 Shadow Sneaks are able to drop Frostlass, but she did land a Hex on us. Salazzle is next. Appleton can brush off a fire move to Leech Seed, then Ferroseed blocks out a poison move, and Ludicolo Bubble Beams the sexy ass lizard. Serena has Acrobatics that that only Ferroseed can stand to. She keeps attacking us, with Iron Barbs doing damage back to her. Then an Iron Head is enough. Milotic is no threat at all, so Appleton Leech Seeds her. Ferroseed can return to get health back and raise attack and defense with Curse until Power Whip slains the Milotic. Olena's Gigantamax Garbodor is not scary, with Ferrothorn having a gross defense stat. Max Quake does hardly anything, and 2 Bulldozes are enough for garbage to perish. It's time to return to Wyndham Stadium. The battles I did before, minus Olena's, those were all basically qualifier matches. I think I'm now in like the top 8 or whatever's equivalent to the Elite Four in this game. My first battle is with Beatty, and he finally came out the closet to hold the title of Femboy Fairy. Ferrothorn uses Iron Head to bash his Mawile, Gardevoir, and Rapidash. His ace Hatterene Gigantamaxes and wields a Fire-type move. Ferrothorn is 4 times weak to this, but we stay in to protect and hold on. Stalling 1 turn of Gmax, we pivot into Appleton, and then Ludicolo. Ludicolo is confused and low health, so I find it safer to switch to Gourgeist. Gourgeist is not powerful enough to 1v1 the Hatterene, so she falls. This allows Leafeon to come in and cut the woman. I had to sack something here, and Gourgeist just felt like the best bet. I may have won, but I'm not taking the title of Femboy Fairy. Beatty, you can keep that. Battle number 2 is a rematch against the Water-type gym leader Nessa. She has a better team this time around, especially with a Glycopod lead. Appleton protects against the dangerous first impressions. Glycopod does a funny swords dance, and Appleton Leech Seeds. Luckily, she sword dances again, and Apple Acid can put Glycopod in range to swap out with his emergency exit ability. Barraskewda has Ice Fang, so Appleton let Ludicolo take the hit. Next turn, Ludicolo gets throat chopped, but Giga Drains to Oko the fish. Ferrothorn then tanks a Mega Horn and delivers an Oko Power Whip to Seaking. Glycopod is back out. Ferrothorn keeps missing Power Whip, but Glycopod hurts himself with Iron Barbs. This has Nessa use a full restore, and then Power Whip connects, sending Glycopod back out. Pelipper arrives, but has his wings snapped by Power Whip. Once Glycopod returns, Ferrothorn is out of Power Whip, so Ludicolo comes in to Giga Drain the big-ass bug. Her ace Dreadnought can Gigantamax this time instead of Dynamax. Ludicolo is hit from Max Rockfall, then gets a bunch of HP back from Giga Drain. I feel like another Max Rockfall will kill Ludicolo, so Ferrothorn holds up against the other 2 max moves. Ferrothorn can even withstand a crunch before taking revenge for the win. Battle number 3 is a rematch with Alistar and his ghost types. Great. Ferrothorn brutally swings his Dusknoir. Oh shit, Chandelure. Ludicolo comes in on a crit Mystical Fire that lowers my special attack. I risk the Surf, which doesn't extinguish the candle, but he threw a missing Will-O-Wisp. I have no safe switch, so I risk Ludicolo's life, and she actually survives a Shadow Ball. Surf puts out the fire, and yeah, wow. That could have been way worse for me. Appleton has high enough special defense to stall the Poltergeist until it drops. Rillaboom ignores the strength sap debuffs just to drumbeat the Corsola away. His ace Gengar Gigantamaxes, of course, but I predicted Max Ooze, and Ferrothorn completely blocks it, thanks to the part Steel. I sack Delmise because it has no longer a purpose on my squad, and Ferrothorn can protect against Gengar's Max Terror. Now, Max Terror isn't just a powerful ghost type move, it has a secondary effect that makes the target now not be able to switch out. Even though Gengar transforms back to normal, its Shadow Ball freely kills my Ferrothorn. I am absolutely devastated. That was my defensive core. At least I still have Appleton though. Leafeon, of course, lands a crit bite attack that Oko's this piece of shit ghost. Looking into my PC, I noticed that I only have 4 Pokemon left, with 3 of the hardest battles left. Final 4 plants are promising, but is it enough? A rematch against Dragon user Ryan is our final battle before the champion. champion. Now Ryan doesn't just use dragons, as he leads a Torkoal for sunny weather strategies, which makes my grass types even frailer. Appleton can Leech Seed Torkoal, and to avoid sleeping from Yawn, Ludicolo comes in to get hit with a Lava Plume. I know Torkoal isn't the strongest Pokemon, but I would have thought in Sun, and keep in mind Lava Plume is doing neutral damage, I would have expected it to do a lot more damage to Ludicolo, but I am grateful. Ludicolo outplays the turtle by changing the weather to rain, having Torkoal just get stuck charging a solar beam. That beam never went off, as the turtle got washed away. After some weather shenanigans from Turtonator, Rain is back up, and Surf washes him away as well. A critical hit Icy Wind does terrible damage to Goodra because of its high special stat. She takes advantage of our Rain Dance to conjure a 100% accurate Thunder that paralyzes Ludicolo. Rillaboom resists the Thunder next turn and Drain Punches Goodra into a goo. Rillaboom U-turns into Flygon while Sandstorm is whipped up. Ludicolo can shrug off a Dragon Claw and deliver a deadly 4 times effective Ice Wind. With his ace Duraludon out in Sunstorm, what is a Sunstorm? Sandstorm. Leafeon has high enough physical defense to tank a max Steel Spike and luckily get off 2 consecutive Protects. I don't know what the odds of getting 2 consecutive Protects off, but that's crazy. Rillaboom can finish the battle off by Drain Punching Duraludon until it dies. In the story, I was about to fight Champion Leon, but it gets interrupted by a disturbance in Hammerlock. I returned there to find out that Chairman Rose is evil, or something like that, and I have to battle him. I have 4 Grass-type Pokemon. He has 5 Steel types. Here we go, I guess. Rose's Excavalier faces down my Appleton. Iron Defense for incoming Mega Horn that still does way too much damage. Leech Seeded the bug and then survived on 4 HP from Mega Horn. With Protect +2 defense and healing from leftovers and Leech Seed, Appleton can do a lot to cripple the Knight until it sucks. Rose has a Ferrothorn, must be nice. Leafeon has Charm to decrease Ferrothorn's threat level, but I forgot that Body Press takes into account the user's defense stat, not attack, which was what I was lowering. Leafeon died. Ludicolo let Sunny Day shine. Gets crushed by a Body Press, then Oko's the Ferrothorn with Weather Ball. Weather Ball. Now, Klinklang I did not expect to be so fast, and it wild charges my Ludicolo, which killed it. Rillaboom can Drain Punch Klinklang and Berserker, with its health being in a pretty good spot after. Rose's Ace Copperrock can G-Max. Rillaboom wastes 2 of its turns with Drain Punch, then forced to sack Appleton. Heavy Slam does more damage to a lighter target like Appleton than a Rillaboom. The sole survivor Rillaboom Drain Punches the Elephant for our win, but did we really win? I lost 3 of my 4 members. There is no way I can go toe-to-toe against Leon and his Gigantamax Charizard. Out of desperation, it's Isle of Armor time. Isle of Armor is a DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield that's not part of the base game. Yeah, no shit, that's why it's a DLC. But you can find Pokemon there that you can normally find in the base game. A lot of Nuzlockers ban DLC from their playthroughs, but I don't care. Play your Nuzlocks with whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. I must say it's extremely poetic how my starter was the last one to survive. It's now time to surround Melon the Rillaboom with new saplings to finish out this challenge. The new members are Roots the Tangela, Shoop the Amungus. There's no way I just said that. Amungus, I guess, the Exeter, Wincon the Bulbasaur, and Peepud the Petalil. With my new team, I can save the world by facing Eternatus, the final boss, with Hop. Luckily, I didn't have to carry Hop because the legendary Zamazenta and Zacian were there. It was really funny because Eternatus would not stop attacking Hop until we won. After saving the world, I completely forgot about one important encounter at the Lake of Outrage. That being a Rotom named Motor that we can change the form of to become a grass and electric type. Walking into the final match, Leon does his cringe pose before leading with an Aegis Slash. Aegis Slash cause you know, sword and shield. It's pretty cool. Rillaboom bulldozes the shield, and then the sword shadow balls. Another bulldoze does the trick, and now Cinderace is out. I cannot afford to swap out Rillaboom, so it needs to be sacrificed. This is the last battle, so I just gotta do what I gotta do. Tangrowth has the defense to breathe after one Pyro Ball and gets a Bulldoze off. He falls the next turn. Venusaur sleep powders the rabbit and bulldozes it until its legs are crushed. Dragapult has Flamethrower, but Venusaur's special defense can effectively have it stall until the Dragon Ghost dies again. Haxorus has a crazy attack stat and stab outrage. I have no resistances, so Venusaur needs to be sacked for Lilligant to come in. Lilligant actually holds on from one outrage and then charms the dragon to make him less deadly. Amoonguss can now somewhat switch in without too many problems. The mushroom successfully toxic stalls the war crime. Seismic Toad is forced out and gets O-code by a seed bombing. Now Leon's Ace Charizard is presented and Gigantamaxes. I stall the G-Max turns by sacking Lilligant in one turn, and it takes 2 turns to have Amoonguss die. Amoonguss, not Among Us. Now, Charizard kept using Max Airstream, which increases his speed stat 3 times. This is good for me because his special Fire G-Max move has like a fire spin effect over the field that does damage every turn, and I genuinely think if he set up just one of the, G-Max Wildfire or whatever it's called, I think I would have lost this battle if one was set up. Since Rotom can Dynamax in the champion fight, Fire Blast is not hot enough, and our Max Lightning forces the Charizard to put a fork in the outlet. I am now the Pokemon champion and the ultimate gardener. Hope you guys enjoyed this challenge, and for the MVP, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Needed the Ferrothorn. A close second was probably Appleton. It's just Ferrothorn had a lot more offensive pressure than Appleton. That steel typing for the poison immunity was just, it's just too good. And having a fighting type move like Revenge, just Ferrothorn was very helpful. Anyway, that's it. Bye-bye.